Alright guys, we're going to start off with the installation of the G&P steel buffer lock. That's the housing there. This is a brand new G&P buffer lock steel with spring. Here we're going to want to put it face forward with the spring facing on the inside. Should have some spring action. We're going to move the pin out of the way. Alright, this should drop in. You want the buffer lock facing the rear of the body. So just drop right in. That's what it should look like when installed. Not completely done yet, guys. This is the screw that screws into the lower of the housing unit. You're going to want to use a little bit of Loctite. I use blue Loctite because this will vibrate and shake and it will move on you, making the housing loose on the inside of the body. This could cause some damage, so it's good to use some blue Loctite because you can get it off later on. You're going to want to hold this with your finger, place the screw in the rear, and Phillips screwdriver, and screw that thing right in. There you go, guys. You're going to want to just hand tighten this, not too much. You don't want to strip the head of the screw, so the Loctite should just keep it in place. There you go. You should have the spring action that your buffer lock should go up and down, and that's how you install it. Alright guys, moving along now. Now that we've installed the buffer lock housing, we're going to want to put the retention spring in. This is what's going to keep your selector switch in place. This is what's going to give you semi-full and safe. It should drop in right into the buffer lock housing. There you go, just drop right in. These are the brand new MAGPUL gas blowback selector switches we're going to be installing. The ambidextrous ones. You're going to want to push half the selector into the lower receiver. It's going to be a little bit difficult because you're going to have the retention spring pushing on the selector switch. So you're going to want to use like a small flathead screwdriver, just push in the spring to get the selector switch in the lower receiver. Just got to play with it for a little bit. Just try to move the select switch all around. Eventually it'll snap into the lower receiver. Alright, I finally got it to snap in. So far smooth cycling. This kit also comes with two washers that go on the body itself over the selector switch so it doesn't ruin the finish. Pretty much self-explanatory. It just goes in one way. This gets held on by Allen screw. Just tighten it with the Allen key. On the left side, it's pretty much the same thing. You're going to want to unscrew the selector switch and add the washer to the left side of the lower receiver. This drops right in. Same thing. Put back on and screw the Allen screw right in. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how it gets installed. Pretty simple. Smooth cycling. It's not like the original factory one, which has a break-in period. Cycle's good. I'm good to go. Alright, now we're going to be installing a G&P steel mag catch replacement. Just pop out the old unit. It's just the pin holding this into the housing. Just the pin right there. Make sure you don't lose that. And bolt catch should just come right off. This is our steel bolt catch. Should drop right in. Just make sure you line the holes and push the pin right in. There you go. Finish it off. Push the pin a little bit. If you have a small screwdriver, just make sure it sits flush in the unit. And that's it. There you go, guys. Easy enough. Alright, now we're going to be reassemble the lower receiver. I'm going to start off with the trigger assembly. Just drop right in. Make sure you have the selector switches on full so that the trigger drops right in. This is a sear spring that goes in the trigger assembly. Spring should just fit in the hole that's cut out for it. This is the factory sear. Should just drop right in. Has a cutout for the spring. Alright guys, you're going to want to install your G&P anti-rotation pins, the steel ones we have for this build. You want to hold down the trigger assembly with your finger and pretty much just line up the holes and wiggle it around, play with it a little bit. Should just drop right in. There you go. That's it. The trigger assembly's in. Next, you're going to want to grab the hammer. On this build, we have a steel hammer with a ball bearing for smooth cycling. It's pretty much the same thing as the lower assembly. Just hold it in with your finger and line up the holes. There you go. Just drop right in. Line it up. Now you have your hammer in place and your trigger assembly in place. I'm going to finish it off by adding the other side of the anti-rotation pins in. Screw it in with the Allen key. There you go, guys. Functional. Hammer works. Trigger works. Selector works. Now we're going to install a bolt catch block. Just drops right in. This is our G&P ambidextrous steel mag catch. Just drop right in as well. You're going to hold this button down, and you're going to turn the other side just like that, and it should screw right in. Functional. It's functional. Both sides are functional on this ambidextrous mag catch. Next, we're going to be installing the MAGPUL USA MOA grip with the Punisher etching on it. This drops right in and it gets held on by a Allen screw. Next, we're going to be installing an Ace ultralight stock. It's made by a company called Ace. This is a real steel buffer tube. Comes with the QD mount installed, part of the stock, and it screws in just like any other buffer tube would. So hold the QD mount in place now and just screw in. And there you go. Just pretty much line it up. Finish this off, you're going to want to tighten the Allen key instead of the lower part of the stock. This is going to keep it steady. So I'm going to move after that. Now you just pretty much drop in the buffer and the buffer spring. Fits perfect. And that's it, guys.